Today, I'm taking you on a flight from Princess Juliana International Airport on Sint Maarten to Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. The flight with flight number AF0499 takes around 8 hours and is operated by the French airline Air France. The flight with the Airbus A330 in business class costs $2,200 one way per person. Unfortunately, on the day of our flight, the airport was very busy, and we had to wait 20 to 30 minutes at the business class counter. The trip started with a big disappointment. At the business class counter, we were told there is currently no business class lounge at the airport. A hurricane damaged large parts of the airport and the lounge in recent years, and it has not been used since. As an alternative to the lounge, every Air France business class passenger receives a $10 voucher at the counter for a snack bar without seats. No fast lane was open for business class passengers at the security checkpoints that day. We had to queue for about an hour. The snack bar was, unfortunately, the worst in the entire airport. The $10 from Air France got you a bottle of water and an unappetizing sandwich. The airport was completely overcrowded, and there were no seats. The boarding was a big mess because there were no queues, but people were standing around everywhere. There was no priority boarding for business class passengers. At least you didn't notice it in the noisy waiting area. On the plane, a member of staff greeted us in a friendly manner. The seats are in a 2-2-2 arrangement. There was a hanger, blanket, and pillow on each seat. There was also a water bottle and headphones. There is a small storage area below the screen, which I liked. There is further storage space in front of the headphones, but the water bottle already occupied this. There is also a remote control, a reading lamp, and a socket with various connections. The seat is comfortable. However, with a body height of almost 190 centimeters, the footwell is a little narrow. If you want to stretch your legs, put them on the footrest. The foot compartment is very narrow, so both feet almost don't fit next to each other. The amenity kit contains socks, a wooden toothbrush, earplugs, toothpaste, and 2 different moisturizers. I have seen much better quality amenity kits on other airlines. Before takeoff, water, orange juice, and champagne were offered. I opted for water. At first glance, Air France's business class on the A330 looks a little dated. The wear and tear on the seats is visible. Unfortunately, the entire business class area was dirty. Air France should urgently work on the cleanliness of the cabins. A menu card was handed out. Unfortunately, there was only one crab salad as a starter. If you don't like shellfish, there is no alternative. The main course was grilled beef, chicken with pasta, fish, and cannelloni. A cheese selection and dessert accompanied this.
Préparez-vous pour le décollage.
After reaching cruising altitude, warm towels were handed out, which was very refreshing. Drinks were also served, and I opted for champagne this time. Small cheese sticks made of puff pastry were also handed out, which surprisingly tasted good. Sometimes you are happy about the little things in life. I declined the starter as I didn't fancy shellfish. I actually wanted to have the grilled beef for the main course, but unfortunately, this course was no longer available. What a pity! I chose the cannelloni as an alternative. Unfortunately, a very bad decision. The cannelloni was overcooked and very mushy. The food was cold and the filling disgusting. One of my worst meals on a plane so far. My seatmates were also anything but enthusiastic about the main courses. The salad, on the other hand, was delicious and very fresh. I liked the cheese selection, and the dessert selection was fantastic. I liked the screen and the entertainment on board. The screen is a nice size and very touch-sensitive. Unfortunately, the screens are very reflective, especially when playing dark content or when the screen is turned off. The selection of films in English was good. Unfortunately, the internet was not available during the entire flight. However, there is normally free bandwidth for business class passengers to use messengers, albeit only for text messaging. The seat was comfortable. The bed length of about 2 meters is sufficient, and I could sleep for a few hours. Unfortunately, the service was very reserved and rarely showed up. The flight attendant spoke French with me most of the time, although I did not understand French. The flight attendants either knew very little English or preferred speaking French to passengers. For an international flight with many English-speaking passengers, I found the flight attendants' behavior towards the passengers strange. I have noticed on several Air France flights that the flight attendants dislike speaking English. For breakfast, I had a very tasty croissant. Overall, I was not satisfied with the flight in business class. I understand that the business lounge at the airport was closed due to a natural disaster. To give passengers a €10 voucher for an overpriced and poor cafe without seating is not enough for a flight in this price range. Unfortunately, it was dirty on board, and some seats were very worn. Overall, the cabin looked outdated. The main course was a disappointment, but the croissant, cheese, and dessert selection was very tasty. The service was very passive and took some getting used to. As an English-speaking passenger, I felt uncomfortable at times. The seat was comfortable, and I could sleep well. Do you want to see more videos from me? Then I would be happy about a subscription and a like. Feel free to share your experience with Air France with a comment. See you soon!